Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jovan, and today I'll be walking you guys through my $1 million SaaS and showing you how far along we are in the journey. So far it's been 2 months, and I want to show you what I've been able to build, and I want to keep you guys updated as I continue to build and as I continue to scale this SaaS to $1 million. Okay, so when I say $1 million, I'm talking about $1 million ARR. Okay, so annual recurring revenue, $1 million. That's what we're going to build this to, and I'm pretty confident we can get there in the span of about 1 to 1.5 years. So you guys are going to follow along. So this is my third video on the channel. Today I actually have my full recording setup here, and I actually want to dive into my laptop and show you guys the progress I've been able to make so far. So just for some quick context, it's been 2 months now that I've been building my SaaS. If you guys don't know what my SaaS is, right now it's called Roseform, and pretty much what it is, it's a competitor to Typeform. That's kind of was the initial idea, but right now it's actually kind of pivoting more to be not just a form builder, but actually an all-in-one solution for high-ticket sales teams. So the form builder is just kind of one aspect or one component of it. So it's been 2 months I've been building this, and a lot of it has been, I've coded it myself with Cursor. I've also had 3 developers working with me. One guy has been here since the start. So I've also been having help from developers, which is very much, in my opinion, needed if you actually want to build a legitimate SaaS that functions properly. So anyways, let me share my screen and show you guys pretty much what I have built, and then I'll kind of maybe go over and answer some common questions that people might have. So this is what we've got 2 months into the SaaS. So the first thing we see here is we have an executive dashboard. So this is right now a almost fully functioning dashboard. And the idea is here, once again, this is for high ticket sales teams to be able to have an all-in-one solution. So with my platform, they're going to be able to have all of their lead data, all of their appointment data, and all of their sales data all in one place. And so when you have all your data all in one place, you can analyze that data. Like, you can analyze whatever you want, and you can see everything, right? You can see everything. And the issue is most high ticket sales teams, they are using different tools for different things, right? So for example, to collect leads, they might be using Typeform to qualify and collect leads. Then they might be sending those leads to a Go High Level calendar. Okay, so that's another program, and that's a break in the process of a lead going through the process. It also kind of interrupts the process. And this is one of the solutions that we're solving with Roseform, is we actually integrate Go High Level Calendar into Roseform so that qualified leads don't need to be redirected to another page and load another page and re-enter their name and their email and their phone number all over again. Because when you do that, about 50% of your leads don't end up booking a call. 50% of people that qualify don't book a call. Okay, so which means 50% of your qualified leads are just being thrown away and ad spend wasted because nothing's happening with them. So with Roseform, the calendar slots just populate right there in the form, and I can show you guys that in a second. But pretty much the idea here is that, yeah, so you're collecting leads through this, you're booking appointments through Roseform, right? Through Roseform, so all the appointments data is going to be in Roseform, and then also all the sales. So anytime your salespeople make sales, that data is also going to be in Roseform. Right, and everything is, the idea here is to build a software that does and knows everything automatically, right? So one of the problems with high ticket sales teams, for example, is that the sales managers and the founders, they don't have really any insight into what's happening on the calls until the salespeople and the closers like update all their stats and update their reports and upload their sales calls and like send their end of day reports and like log their sales. And it's a lot of waiting for closers, and there's a lot of room for error. And I've noticed a lot of teams are still using spreadsheets, guys, Google Sheets, because there's no software made for high ticket sales teams. So with Roseform, what people will be able to do is salespeople can just take the sales calls on Zoom or on Google Meets, and that's all they have to do. So the software is going to automatically record. These are some of the features that we've built in. It's going to automatically record the meetings. It's going to push the meetings back into Roseform. It's going to sync up the meeting with the appointment that was scheduled. It's going to figure out what happened on the appointment. It's going to figure out, did they show or did they not show? Was there a deal? Was the lead even qualified? Was an offer made? Right? Was it a follow-up or was it a deposit? Or was it a payment plan? Or was it a pay in full, right? It's going to figure out all these things, and then it's going to update all of that in the CRM. For example, in Go High Level, inside of Rose Form, it's going to update it. And it can automate things. It can automate stages in Go High Level in the CRM, right? It can update notes in the contact in the CRM, and it can even send the end of day reports automatically back to Slack. So salespeople, they don't have to do any of this manually anymore. It's all solved. And all the data is going to be in one place, so you can extrapolate literally any data that you want. So it's incredibly powerful. So let me show you guys some of the features. So here, for example, we have the dashboard, right? So here, what I can see is for example, my revenues. I can see my close rate, my show rate. In here, we're actually going to have more data types coming soon. But so let's just start with, for example, the close rate, right? So this is just mock data right now, just to give you guys an idea. So here, for example, I can see my close rate, right? I can see my close rate over time. I can change my time frame here. I can change my view here by day, by week, by month, and I can see how my close rate changes over time, okay? And so this gives you like an grand overall picture. But then what I can do is I can, for example, remove the follow-up and no deal, and I can break this down by closer. So if I want to compare like two different salespeople, I can pick two different salespeople, and boom, I can see how their close rate changes over time. And I can see, do I have a big gap? Like, does one closer have a way better close rate than the other? Or are they kind of up to par, right? And so this way I can quickly compare all my closers and see, okay, who's the highest performing closer and who's not, right? I could do the same with revenue. I can go over to my revenue, I can click my cash collected, and I can compare like Alex versus Jordan, right? And I can see, okay, Alex is collecting way more revenue than Jordan, right? Then I can investigate this further. I can see, okay, but did they have more appointments? Like, what was the situation? I can check like their average order values. I can see, okay, like Taylor versus Jordan, whoa, there's a big gap here. Like Taylor, his AOV is like twice as large as Alex's AOV. So, okay, let's look into this more. Like, what is going on here, right? So this is how we can quickly compare closers and quickly see like key metrics, right? And I can see like my live calls, for example. I can see my revenue, my cash collected, my average order value, my cash per call, right? I can also jump on over to show rates, and I can see, okay, what's going on with my show rates, right? And I can compare, once again, I can compare closers. I can look at it overall. I can look at my reschedule rate. I can look at, okay, does one closer have a higher no-show rate than the other? And if so, like, okay, that means this closer must be doing something different because they're getting a way better show rate, right? So these are just some quick ideas to give you. And yeah, so that's pretty much the executive dashboard here, just at a glance. We're gonna have way more powerful reporting. This is just kind of the first version of it, just to give you your basic like sales data, Okay, so moving on here, we got the form builder. So this was the initial kind of core idea, was to rebuild a form builder like Typeform, but make it better and make it integrate with Go High Level, right? So let me open up a form here just so you guys can get an idea. So here we've got our form builder. Now, as you guys can see, this looks very similar to Typeform, and that was the idea, is to kind of mimic a similar UI and a similar feel, because a lot of people are using Typeform, and for good reason. They look great, right? So here we have our form builder. We can have our name, our email, our phone number, multiple choice, yes or no. We have different question types, and here we can automatically sync these questions with our CRM. So with Go High Level, right? Right now we only support Go High Level. That's the main CRM integration that we have. And this removes the need for having like Zapier or like make.com automations, having to do separate things like that. Like, this integrates directly with Go High Level, so you can literally just map your fields and boom, that's it. Now anyone that fills this, it's gonna automatically get pushed to your Go High Level. Okay. Now a crazy feature I want to show you guys is the partial submissions, right? So if we go to form settings, here we can turn on partial submissions, right? And so what this is doing is this is going to collect you way more leads than pretty much any other form builder, because what we're doing here I can actually show you guys the form here, right? So here's what it looks like. And so what we're doing is anytime someone fills out their email, right? Or like anytime they answer any question, right? If someone fills this out, so they put their email, they go to the next question, but then they just like leave your form, they abandon your form. Guess what? With most form builders, you now lost that lead. It didn't save their progress, or it didn't save their data. But with RoseForm, it saves the data right into your CRM. So if this person doesn't complete the form, it doesn't matter. We still push the lead, if you have this feature on, into Go High Level, into your CRM. So now you can treat them as a lead, right? So now you just generated a lead that you can now email market to, right? If they put their name and email and their phone number and then they abandon, now you have both their phone number. You can SMS them, right? You can call them with your appointment setters. With AI, you can do AI automatic calls, right? The point is that we're generating way more leads than traditional form builders, and we're saving all of this data, okay? And pushing it straight to the CRM. And then the last thing I'll show you guys here is the calendar. So this is what I was saying earlier. With like Typeform, you have to redirect people to a separate page to get them on your Go High Level calendar, right? And then people have to re-enter their name, their phone number, their email. Got to redirect them. There's loading time. And so it's a different page too. So all of these things, they kill the pros. They influence the drop off. Okay, the percentage of people that actually drop off. And based on 5 years of being the CEO of PhoneSales.com, which I no longer am, when we were running these offers, and we ran a lot of these offers, we noticed that 50% of people don't end up scheduling a call. They drop off in between the point that they're qualified and the point that they actually get to book a call. So with RoseForm, if someone qualifies, guess what? They can just book a call right away. Okay, and these time slots are being pulled in from Go High Level, from the Go High Level calendar. So it's going to be basically a perfect sync. So all these time slots, they're pulling in. Here are the Go High Level calendars, right? And yeah, leads that qualify, they can just book while they're on the form. They can just literally click one button for their time and then another button to confirm, and that's it, you know? So this feature alone is going to get you way more scheduled calls because you're not redirecting people to a separate page. And so instead of having a 50% drop off, you might have closer to a only 20% drop off, okay? Which now means your cost per call, your cost per qualified call just decreased significantly, and your return on ad spend is now going to increase significantly simply by switching your form builder to RoseForm, okay? That's how powerful this is, okay? And obviously leads that aren't qualified, you just send them to a different page or a thank you message or whatever, right? And we have all like the functionality like lead scoring, conditional logic, all the same stuff, okay? Now, the last feature I just want to show you guys here is the results. And this is what I was trying to tell you when I'm talking about having all your data like in one place. And by the way, don't mind the slow load time here. It's because my internet's not good. And I'm also just on my local host here. I'm not on the actual development server. So yeah, with the results, so what we've done is we've built a lead analyzer, okay? And what a lot of these very successful sales teams do, like sales teams that are making millions of dollars, is they figure out, okay, how does our sales and marketing data, what's the correlations between our sales and marketing data, right? So for example, leads that are closing, leads that are closing on the calls, what information did they give us when they were becoming a lead? Like what answers did they put in the form, right? Did they say that their budget is X? Did they say that their credit score is, above 700? Did they use certain keywords when they were expressing why they're scheduling this call in the first place, right? So successful sales teams and legit operations, what they do is they look at their sales data and how does it connect with marketing. Issue is they have to do this manually. They got to manually export all the lead data. They got to manually export all the sales data, and then somehow figure out how to connect it, like with a Google Sheet or like something like that, right? And try to attribute the leads and mash them up, and it's like a whole mess. It's a whole mess, okay? And what we've done is with our lead analyzer, that's exactly what it does. So it figures since all the sales data and all the appointments data and all the lead data is inside RoseForm, you can then figure out what happened, right? You can then see what, like the sales that we made, what did these people put in their forms, right? So just to give you an example here, and once again, this is just a demo form, so it's not the best example, but I just want to show you the columns, right? So we can see, for example, this question, will you show up? It's a yes or no question, right? We can see how many appointments came from people answering yes versus people answering no. We can see the show rate, for example, of people answering yes versus no. We can see the close rates, right? We can see how much cash was collected. We can see the amount of deals closed, and we can see the percentage of marketing qualified leads and sales qualified leads. Okay. So once again, this isn't the best example, but you can ask them like, you could ask them like, hey, like our program, maybe starts around like $25,000. Like what's your budget, right? And then you can have like, my budget is 0 to 25K, 25 to 50K, 50K to 100K, for example. And then after like a month of data, after taking sales calls, you can then look back and see, okay, so people that answered, their budget is 50K, we cash collected $500,000. And maybe our close rate was only 20%, but we cash collected $500,000 versus people that said their budget's 25K. Okay, our close rate's maybe 40%, but we only collected, $100,000 as a hypothetical example. So this is what I'm talking about. Your sales data can now finally connect with your marketing data, and you can see the trends that are happening. You can see if leads that are answering certain types of questions in certain ways, you can see if they're closing more, if you're cash collecting more, and if they're showing up to the calls more. So this is literally a done for you like show rate improvement blessing. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. It is a show rate blessing because you can now actually see what changes actually improve your show rate, right? And if you see that leads that are answering, like, once again, this form is not the best example, but you can see if leads that are answering, for example, with like, I'm not sure if I'll show, right? And let's say the show rate is, only like 50%, okay? Then what you can do, and for example, let's say it's 50%, then what you can do is you can then, instead of letting these people book a call, right, you can do further qualification. So you can add only for these specific people that answered this question with this answer, I'm not sure, you can show them another question which qualifies them further and tries to split them further, and in this way you're basically dissecting, okay, 50% of people are showing up, but we want 100% of people to show up. So let's dissect this further and let's see what is it about the people that are showing up. Let's figure out who they are and only let these people book a call. And the other people, we're not going to let them book a call because they're not showing up. Okay, and you can do this by adding additional qualification to those people that said, I'm not sure, as an example. You can set up another one or two questions. And then a month later, you come back and you analyze the data again and you say, okay, so people that said, after they said, I'm not sure, they said, because, for example, why are you not sure? I'm not sure if I'll be able to take a lunch break that day, for example, whatever, or I haven't checked my calendar yet, as an example. It's like, okay, so the people that are saying I haven't checked my calendar yet, they're the ones that aren't showing. So these people, we're not letting them book a call at all. Just an example, right? So that's the power here, is that we're connecting the sales data to the marketing data, and you have a full picture as to what's going on and who are the highest quality leads. Okay, so that guys is just a little bit of what I wanted to show you. We have, there's a ton more features, and I'm not going to go over them now in this video, maybe in another one. But that's the point. The point is that it's an all-in-one solution for high ticket sales teams, and everything I said, guys, about having everything in one spot, your form builder, being able for your salespeople just to like show up on the calls and not have to like send automatic, not have to send end of day reports, not have to update their CRM. They don't have to do any of that because all of that is being done for them automatically with Roseform, okay? Because we have automation built in, we have recording bots built in, all of that's built in. So yeah, guys, so this is pretty much kind of some of the things that I've been able to build here in the first 2 months. If you guys want to see more of what Roseform can do, I'd be happy to record another video and show you guys some of the other features here that we have, or just explain a little bit more about it. But yeah, guys, so it's been 2 months. I was hoping to launch the beta, or the early version, the first release. I was hoping to launch it by the end of the 2 months. It turns out it's going to take me a little bit longer. It's going to take me about another 30 days. It's also going to take me a little bit more money than I thought it would. So that's an interesting topic, and I think I'm going to also do a video about that. If you guys want to know what this costs to build and kind of what the setup and structure is like, I'd be happy to make a video about that too. But yeah, so this is pretty much a 2-month update. I wanted to sit down and give you guys a proper video here. If you have any questions about building a SaaS or anything like that, scaling a SaaS, guys, I'm happy to answer any questions. If you guys don't know who I am, I was a CEO of phone sales for 5 years. I've done all sorts of things when it comes to marketing and sales. So that's why I'm building a SaaS today, is because I want to use all my experience that I've learned over the last 8 years of being in business and put that towards building an incredible SaaS. I've scaled all sorts of different companies to millions of dollars. With phone sales, we did well over $50 million that we sold in the span of just a few years. So yeah, I'm excited to put this experience now towards building a SaaS. And also one thing I'm doing, actually, guys, is I'm opening up my calendar. If there's any founders out there that are looking for executive coaching, I'd be happy to take you on, just on like a 1-hour consultation. That's the most I'm willing to do right now. For me, like, I'm not really looking to be a coach or anything like that. But I figured, I would be willing and very blessed to be able to help other founders. So if you're a founder and you need help with marketing or sales or operations, I've kind of had a lot of success in all 3 of these areas. So if you want, you can let me know if you're interested. I'll maybe leave my calendar link in the description, and you can schedule a call if you want to work one-on-one with me in that kind of capacity. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I will keep you posted as we continue to build this SaaS and take it to $1 million in ARR. And I'm happy to have you guys along the journey, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.